What's up, guys? Welcome to the March net worth update. This month is going to be a little bit quicker. Not a lot happens. The markets are kind of going down right now, so not as much growth as usual. But a great time to buy, and for a young investor like myself at 22, can't complain too much. So we can just hop straight into the numbers, and we can talk about some of the things, maybe some of the strategy shifts that I've had for this month and the upcoming year. Maybe some other things that I'm working on. But to start out, the 401k, nothing has changed here. We still have our contribution increase in June if you have been tuning into the previous uploads. So that will be exciting. We'll start to see that number grow even faster in June. But our target year investment fund decreased like most of the market did. So nothing too crazy there. That number is now at $2,174.86, and I am not typing in 2,174.86. So nothing too much to complain about there. Just nice little growth. And I'm not mad at the lack of growth. That just gives me more opportunity to buy more because I'm not retiring anytime soon. So these numbers not growing as fast at 22 is not a big deal to me. But I know I don't want to come off as ignorant. I know that will affect a lot of people. So I hope I wish all the best, but for me, not too big of a problem. Now the Roth IRA, we're actually going to see a big decrease because VU went down quite a bit, and that's most of my portfolio at this point. It goes down to $6,879.94, about a $200 decrease. Not too much to say there. In April, we'll continue to recontribute to that. This month was mostly a debt payoff month. To get my biggest loan off, April, we'll get that completely cut off, and then we can start reinvesting into our Roth IRA. So that will be exciting. Hopefully, I shouldn't say that, but kind of hoping the market is still down at that point so we can maximize our returns. That would be ideal. Our checking, we have a little bit better of a balance here. I didn't want to go overboard. I was going to put 2,000 into our debt payoff. We decided to go for 1,500, and then to get all our credit cards completely clean instead, which I think was a better choice. But we have 292 and 38 cents there, and we don't have any other payments for the rest of the month, which is super exciting. That is already including our renter's insurance and our energy bill that usually comes on the 31st. So that completely clears us for the month. I think the only thing I really have until my next paycheck is a haircut and to fill up my tank one more time, and that covers everything. So not too shabby there. We'll have a pretty good balance going into April. Next thing is our taxable, still zero. Still working with what we got. And then our high yield savings account, we saw some interest be accrued. So that's up to 1,003.39 cents. Crypto still zero. So our total assets come in at $10,350.57. And like I said earlier, this was mostly a loan payoff month. So we will see this decrease by that 1,500 plus a little bit, or actually minus a little bit because some interest accrued as well. So that is what our liabilities are looking like, bringing our total net worth to negative six. Oh, Control Z. This needs to. Yep, that looks good. And then equals that minus that, which equals that 6,039.90 that we saw earlier. Getting closer and closer to a positive net worth, which will be very exciting. I'm really excited for how this year is going and what all we can still accomplish throughout this year. Got a side gig coming up in September that will give me around 3,000 that I can contribute to probably debt payoff. It's really picked up a side business with sports cards. If you're interested, you can go check out my other channel. It will be linked in the description. If not, stay here on the finance one. That was just a little side thing that I'm working on and having a lot of fun doing, as sports is something I'm very passionate about. But we'll see what type of income we can generate from that. I mean, ideally, we can get to a point where we can start really hammering some student loans. But even if we don't get to that point, I still have a lot of fun with the hobby. So not a big deal. But we're continuing to scratch away at this. I'm not too mad, and there's no reason to make this video too long. Not too much change, just a lot of numbers moving in the right direction. Outside of our Roth IRA, obviously. Yeah, we can go look at this chart, which so I don't know if you're keeping up with the other videos. I moved over from Excel to Google Sheets. And so some of the formatting got all messed up. Ignore these years. I don't know exactly what that's pulling from, but we can see, yeah, why is that pulling years? That's super random. But we can see how the graph is moving. Assets go very, very slightly up. Liabilities go a little bit down. And then our net worth obviously gets closer and closer to that break-even point. But yeah, went over some of our income strategies. Hopefully our income continues to increase. And we can see how the rest of the year plays out. This one will be a little bit shorter. I expect April to have a little bit more fun because you'll get to see what changes in the market along with what I'm actually contributing into the market, which will be fun. And we'll see student loans still go down. So a lot more will change next month. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little debrief on how the net worth has changed for me. Until next time, I'll see you in April. Thanks, guys.